Hello and welcome to this Astranti Connect YouTube video taking a look at the qualifications offered by CPCAB, which I'm sure is an acronym that you have come across quite a few times, and it stands for the Counselling and Psychotherapy Central Awarding Body. It's the only awarding body in the United Kingdom that is staffed solely by qualified and practicing counsellors. So it's a very, very high standard when it comes to counselling qualifications. And if you do like this video, then please like and subscribe, and also do visit the website www.astranticonnect.com for more information on CPCAB, more information about the counselling industry and insights into the counselling industry, and also the courses that we provide here, which, no surprise, are CPCAB courses. And we deliver CPCAB courses because we believe they are the best courses for counselling students. So, as you can see on the screen, we have a diagram of the different qualifications offered by CPCAB. You can start right at the bottom with the Level 2 award, or go all the way to the top, or work your way through all the way to the top with the Level 6 certificate. But what are these qualifications, and what's the difference between them, and which ones do you need to do in order to become a qualified counsellor? Well, to achieve qualified counsellor status, just keep the diagram on screen, you need to have completed the CPCAB Level 4 Diploma in Therapeutic Counselling. This is what is known as a core practitioner course, and that is formally recognised by BACP. And so once you have completed that, you will have the formal training and the practical experience in order to become a member of BACP, which of course is very, very important if you wish to practice as a counsellor, particularly if you want to be respected as a counsellor and if you want to get a job with certain counselling agencies and with the National Health Service. But you don't actually have to do all of the qualifications on screen here to become a qualified counsellor. Now, of course, you do need to do the Level 4 Diploma, and to get on to the Level 4 Diploma, you will generally need to have done the Level 2 Certificate in Counselling Skills and the Level 3 Certificate in Counselling Studies. Now, generally, what you might want to do here is you might want to take the Level 2 and 3 online and then go to a local centre to do a Level 4, because the Level 4 has to be done in person. Or you may choose to go to a physical centre to do your Level 2, Level 3, Level 4, and just follow through with that same provider from scratch. But the advantage of doing CPCAB is that it is a universal standard. So if you have completed your Level 2 and Level 3 with one provider and you want to switch to another, that provider will know you will have reached a certain standard because you've got Level 2, Level 3 for CPCAB. Rather than you've got the equivalent of Level 2 and Level 3, or you've got it through an awarding body that isn't formally recognised by BACP, and therefore they can't be quite sure of your standards, etc. And also, it's worth noting that the Level 4 Diploma is 420 hours of formal training, whereas BACP requires 450 hours of formal training to become qualified. So you will need to have done at least one other qualification, one other formally recognised qualification, such as BACP Level 2 and 3, in order to meet the required formal training standards. And in fact, the Level 2 and Level 3 of BACP are 90 hours each, so it goes well above and beyond the minimum standard for BACP membership. So you know, if you do your Level 2, Level 3, Level 4 with CPCAB, you're being trained to a really, really high standard, and therefore it's going to make you a much better counsellor. And once you have qualified, you can then do the Level 5 Diploma in Psychotherapeutic Counselling or the Level 6 Certificate in Psychotherapeutic Counselling Supervision. And these are specialist qualifications. You do not technically need to have done these in order to qualify, but if you do want to specialise in psychotherapy or working with children or supervising and auditing and counsellors, then you will need to undertake those further qualifications. But of course, there are further entry requirements for those rather than just you've completed your Level 4 and you've qualified. You do need to have worked in counselling in the industry for a couple of years to build extra practice experience before going on to the level 5 or the level 6. Now you may be looking at this and thinking, well, can't I just go straight in at level 4? I've got a degree in psychology or a degree in sociology. I've been working in social care for many years, etc. Now, some providers may let you skip if you hold a counselling degree or you've got relevant experience. We would suggest here at Astranti Connect generally that you shouldn't skip levels. The reason for that is because as CPCAB courses are part of a journey, you'll miss out on certain parts if you jump straight in at level 4. Yes, you may have this degree, you may have some of this experience, you may have some of this theoretical knowledge, but counselling is not an academic pursuit, it's a practical vocational course. And the way the CPCAB syllabus is designed, it follows through from level 2 to level 3 to level 4, etc. So if you join at level 4, having not done level 2 and level 3, you may find that you are behind your peers on the course because they will have done the level 2 and level 3 and they will have those additional skills that you learn at the level 2 and level 3. Remember that degrees are often quite an academic pursuit, and therefore whilst theoretically you've been trained to a higher level than you will have done on level 2 and 3, in terms of your theory, what separates the CPCAB qualifications is that a huge proportion of your level 2 and level 3 certificate will be practical. You'll spend half your time in practical exercises, undertaking counselling scenarios, really building those fundamental practical vocational skills. So we generally do not recommend anyone skips ahead because you'll lose out. In fact, case in point, we've had people that have been very qualified skip ahead. People with master's degrees in psychology skip ahead to level 4. A master's degree is level 7, so they should in theory be way ahead of everyone that's only done level 2 and 3, but they really struggle because they don't have that practical experience. So generally we wouldn't recommend that. But what is actually covered on these various different courses? Well, we've summarized the information that you'll learn on these courses. And this will also identify why it's so important not to skip ahead. Because on the level 2 courses, you'll start to learn about how to improve your listening and responding skills. That may sound like something that is simple, but it is actually incredibly nuanced, incredibly complicated, and takes time. And this will include active listening methods and also paraphrasing techniques as well. It will also learn to help you to become more empathetic because empathy is crucial to becoming a counsellor. So many people think they are empathetic when actually they are sympathetic. Sympathetic is where you put yourself in someone else's position. That is not empathy. That is thinking how you would react in their situation. That's thinking what you would do in their situation. But it's not about what you would do in their situation. It's about understanding why they are doing what they are doing in their situation. You're bringing in all other parts of your personality into that scenario. You're bringing your own resilience into that scenario. If they're falling apart over a particular issue and you're thinking, well, no, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be falling apart like that. I wouldn't be reacting like that. Well, that doesn't matter because it's not about what you would do in that situation. It's about why they are acting, what they will do in their situation. That's the difference between sympathy and empathy. And it's very difficult to become empathetic, but you will learn about how to do that on level 2. So another reason not to skip. You'll also learn about how to improve your personal and working relationships, and there are specific level 2 awards as well which look at preventative techniques such as helping people with substance abuse, drug use, etc. So even if you are not looking to become a qualified counsellor, you are just working in social care, you're working in human resources, there is an advantage to just doing a level 2 qualification, just because of the extra skills that you'll learn. Even if you don't need to then carry on to level 3, 4 because you're not looking to become a qualified counsellor, there's a lot of professions that will benefit from you doing a level 2 qualification. If you are, though, looking to become a qualified counsellor, you'll then move on to level 3, and this starts introducing a lot of the theories that you'll build on throughout your studies, and also how to perceive yourself and work on your self-reflection. Counselling, again, it's about empathy and it's about ethics, but it's also about self-awareness, self-perception, self-reflection. And so a counsellor must learn to counsel themselves as well as counsel others. And that's what you'll learn on level 3. You'll also learn some more of the fundamental, practical, logistical things that you'll need to consider when you become a counsellor, such as being an agency counsellor, other life coaching skills as well. The more perhaps the logistics of becoming a counsellor and starting to learn about those, how your daily life will look once you are a qualified counsellor. Then finally, we move on to the level 4, finally as in becoming a qualified counsellor. This is where you'll really build on those level 2 and level 3 skills. It's a huge course, 72 sessions, daily sessions, 2 years, 420 hours, learning all the different skills you'll need to become a counsellor, how to focus on your clients' needs, how to work with your clients, and how to work with yourself as well, how to reflect on yourself. And then once you've done that, you'll be a qualified counsellor. You do, in addition to doing the 420 hours of formal training for the level 4, to get your level 4 CPCAB, you will also need to do 100 hours of supervised practice. So that's in a sense where you are actually counselling, and you will also need to undertake 10 hours of personal counselling yourself, so where you are actually being counselled. And CPCAB do give you an extra year to complete all of the more practical side of that. So the course is 2 years, but you have an extra year to fit in your 100 hours of supervised practice. And then once you are qualified, you will be able to undertake a level 5 if you wish, and that's going to give you extra knowledge to help you to specialise more down the psychotherapy route. It's also going to allow you to take on a more senior role, such as teaching you about the responsibilities such as client assessments, referrals, and evaluations. So this is for those of you who, once qualified, want to set up your own practice, because you're going to have to do a lot of that yourself. It will also give you more information on what you need to do in your own practice and the business side of that as well, how to register your business, how to market your business, how to deal with the various different requirements that comes from running a business. And also, if you wish to stay in agency, it will allow you to take on a more senior role within that agency. There's also a level 5 course specializing in working with children and at-risk youths, at-risk young people as well, and it will give you the specialist knowledge for that. And if you then wish to become a counselling supervisor, so someone that actually supervises counsellors, checks counsellors, audits the performance of counsellors, etc., which you'll become very accustomed to as you become a qualified counsellor. You will need to be supervised X amount of hours a year, etc. If you wish to become a supervisor, this is the course for you. It will teach you all the competencies you need to be a safe and effective supervisor and to provide effective feedback to your counsellors. And if you wish to learn more about these courses, there is a full course specification for each of these courses on the CPCAB website, so I do advise checking that out. But what you should be able to take away from this video and take away from these various different CPCAB qualifications is it's a very well-designed process, a very well-designed structure of progression throughout your studies, throughout your career as a trainee counsellor to a qualified counsellor to a specialist counsellor, etc. And that's another advantage of doing CPCAB courses, actually, is that there is this defined career progression. This career defined structure. And that will also be beneficial once the scope head framework comes into effect, which is doing more about regulating the profession. It's going to become more important than ever to have formal training, to have this formal route of progression. So if you would like more information on these courses, then please check out the CPCAB website. We also offer all of these courses here at Astranti Connect, so do check those out on the website as well. We have a description of each of the courses and what our specific version of these courses brings, what it will provide to you. So do check that out on the website, www.astranticonnect.com, and please like and subscribe as we're going to be producing more videos in the future. So I hope you now have a good idea about CPCAB courses, what courses are offered, why it's such an important, or why it's a decent awarding body to use for your counselling journey. It's an important route for you to take. And I hope to see you again for the next videos in this series, where we're going to be looking at how you can turn your CPCAB qualifications into a degree, and also just general benefits of why CPCAB is, in a sense, the gold standard for counselling qualifications. So I hope to see you for those.